that piece means a lot of things. It came from a lot of different places. If you stand at the QFN campground, looking at the mouth of the Big Qualicum River, depending on what time you catch the tide at, there's all these different sandbanks and banks of rock. I guess more so rock than sand, but that form. And whether it's coming in or going out, you're watching all these different currents converge and go different ways, come together, go apart, be traveling in different directions on different sides of these little banks, and they can be as thin as some of these shapes here. Those forms are inspired by older forms of art, of post-Salish art, that were forms of jewelry that were made out of mountain goat horns. And it was a really, really tough material to work with. And very few people do it nowadays, and also mountain goats are pretty hard to come by within our territories nowadays too. There's a few pieces like that left in some museums and other kind of institutions that we can luckily, I guess, study and look at as learning artists. And that's where a lot of those forms come from as well. It's a quote from Blade Runner, very famous monologue given by who we understand to be the villain. But at the end of the movie, he gives this monologue that really flips everything, in my opinion, on its head. And it connects, I think, with our art forms for me in the way of, when settlers got here and they asked who we are, most communities' answer was, we're the people. We're the humans. Lots of things here, but we're just the humans that are living with all these things. We're not this, we're not that, we're just the people having human experience. And that understanding of what it means to be a human being completely, and I want to emphasize being, because that's an active verb that I think people often forget about. And within this movie, Blade Runner, it's questioning what it means to be a human being. And there are these replicants who are considered not human beings that are hunted down throughout the whole movie, deemed less than human, exploited, misunderstood. If they need to disappear, they'll be disappeared. He expresses more of a human experience in his very short life than any of the people hunting him have that are calling him less than human. And then he disappears. And he talks about all his memories and what that meant, and what was meant to him, disappearing like tears in the rain. And that's what our forms of art were supposed to do if Canada and its government had its way. And they tried and continue to try to make those. All the memories that went into inspiring the artist to make that real old piece that I was able to look at were deemed less than. So to be able to show that that's not true.